Welcome to the 12th episode and final episode of season 1 of the Nebraska Gentleman. I'm your host, Nadu, or Chinedu Izu Ebunim, and I am back home in Nebraska, the native land, the Midwest, the title of the show. Feels good to be back. We are with 4 other great human beings. And what I'm going to do now for this edition, this is the back home edition, I am now going to ask that they introduce themselves. One is an individual who has been on an episode before, my first ever episode. And the other 2 are 2 new beautiful friends who will now all introduce themselves. So don't speak of us.
Oh, well, from the first episode, this is Guillermo, back for the final episode, I guess. Kind of worked out perfectly that way.
Exactly, I had to do it.
And I am Chelsey. I have been friends with Nadu for 2 years now. Is it 2 years?
One and a half.
1.5-ish years.
You can't round up.
Who's counting?
Yeah.
A year and 9 months.
He has the exact date down somewhere. I know he does. But yeah, I met him through Guillermo, so.
I'm Sarah.
It's your girls.
It's Sarah back at it again. I met Nadu through Guillermo. Year and 9 months.
Yeah, so they actually skipped ahead on what I usually do. I usually ask how we met, and that's basically it. We met at a bar.
Yeah.
What bar?
Where we are.
We were at the Lighthouse.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. What was your first impression of him?
Yeah. Let's look at one now. Give it to me.
So.
Because you had known that Nadu is like my best friend,
Yes.
but you lived out east, and he finally came into town.
Yeah. We immediately got along, I would say. We could talk sports, which was good. He thought it was funny to make fun of my job
I did
at
not.
some point.
See, this is how.
So he asked me what I do for a living, and I tell him, and then he acts like I was being cocky about it, which I wasn't.
Or she thought I was acting certain way, but
Yeah.
she just misinterpreted it. But hey, look at us now.
Look at us now.
Still living.
We worked through it.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
I had a good night.
It was a good night. With Nadu's Tinder date and all.
Wait, was that the first time with the Tinder date?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was quite the night.
Well,
But yeah,
what do you
moving
mean-
right along.
What do you mean by quite the night?
Just I met these 2, Sarah and Chelsey, and then.
And you also met your Tinder date for the first time that night, right?
Yeah. I did.
So
that's why it was quite the night, like meeting 3 different people in
Yeah.
one night. And I met your sister that night too.
You did. My sister came along. Yep.
Yeah. Wait, did she come with a friend?
Yes.
Yes, she did.
Pat thought you were like super good looking too.
Who, Nadu?
No,
No,
He
you.
thought you were.
One of my sister's
No,
friends
he-
was obsessed with you.
Yeah, he was. I remember that now. Yeah,
He
he
was-
was like obsessed with like my name or something.
No, he was pretty obsessed with you.
Oh.
He kept asking what kind of girls you pick out all the time, and he's very much straight, and he
just
has
so
a
you know,
girlfriend,
yeah,
so
Guillermo is single, by the way, if anybody's interested.
single and ready to mingle.
We might put him on a Craigslist ask after this, but we'll get into that later. So, what I usually like to do with each guest before we dive deep into the main course is ask them. It's called. I haven't really named it. It's kind of like hot and ready questions. So don't think, just speak. You have to answer it as quick as you can. Coming in hot is what I call it.
Who's going first, or is it everybody at the
Same time. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we can go in order. That could be a good idea.
We can do free for all.
All right. So 5 questions. Give it to me, okay? So the first one: firm or plush pillows?
Plush.
Firm.
Christmas or Thanksgiving?
Christmas.
Christmas.
Vodka or whiskey?
Vodka.
Whiskey.
Okay. Comedy or scary?
Comedy.
Okay. And last but not least, when it comes to wine, red or white?
None.
Rosé.
Oh, all different answers. So none, white, and rosé, red and rosé. Okay.
Which
I was
is
gonna say
it's
that.
a white, I think. I think is where you would put it. I don't know.
Okay. So now let's move on to what are you 3 doing in your lives right now? I know in the first episode, for those who listen, Guillermo shared a bit what he does. Can you refresh us a bit in case I forgot?
Yeah. In case you forgot. No, so I'm still working the same job in the fraud department at a bank.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, since the first episode, not much else has changed, to be honest.
Do you like your job a little better?
Yeah, I mean, it's all right, but looking for bigger and better things always.
Maybe in Connecticut? I don't know. I'm just saying.
No, you can't take Guillermo away from me.
What if I said I was moving back? Just kidding.
What's out in Connecticut? What kind of jobs are there?
We can talk more on off air about that.
Oh, okay.
Don't want to get everybody moving all at once. All right, so Sarah, how about you? Because you guys all, like you said, knew each other before me, and it's because you all worked together in the same company. So Sarah, you go ahead. What's your position? You don't have to name the company if you don't want to.
Well, I work as like an assistant manager. So I don't know. There isn't really a lot going on with me either, but like it's just figuring out the job and then like adjusting to it, having people like see me as someone like as a leader, things like that, which is really hard because like I was very confident in the role that I was in, so now I have to transition and basically like fake it till I make it, which is really hard because I want to be like confident in what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And also I like don't want to let people down, so it's like that balance of like when I should ask for help and also if I just like wing it and like see what happens.
Ask for forgiveness later.
Yeah.
Which
like,
has gone well though when you've done that, right? I'm assuming.
for the most part, yeah. Or I just stress
fired
out for
yet.
years until it comes back. But other than that, I mean, it's been like a lot of work, and then also like hanging out with like the right people who like want like the right things for me, and just kind of like closing out chapters and things like that. It was like a lot of weird like closure for me, so I really enjoyed it. With like new job, like work was really well, then also just like finding like the right people to like surround yourself with was like all 2018 was.
Okay.
So it's nice that it's coming to an end because it's like all these other things I can actually like be present in and like, you know, enjoy, I think, more than what I did.
It's nice to hear. You sound like you enjoy your job and the people you work with too, so.
Yeah.
Good. I mean, I guess this person over here is all right.
Yeah, she's not just saying that because I'm here. So I'm a branch manager. Sarah is my assistant, and we've worked together for quite a few years now. I hired her on. She was super fantastic in the teller role and then our lead teller role, and then just recently was able to thankfully promote her to my assistant manager. But yeah, I've been in banking for 12 years in March.
Woo!
And yeah, just kind of training a whole new team for the entire year, basically, which has been really challenging and fun, and also taking on some outside projects within the company too. So that's my career story, I guess.
And I do not work at their company, but seeing the friendship between you guys just kind of develop or blossom outside of work, it reminds me of how important it is to actually not just enjoy what you do, but also the people you surround yourself with at your job make a huge difference, and you feel comfortable as well.
Yeah.
And obviously Guillermo's friendship, even though he's not there anymore, obviously had an impact because you guys are still talking today. That's how good of a guy.
We actually made jokes about that when he left. We were like, "You're never going to talk to us again. We know this is it."
We show them.
and I was trying really hard, but they kept calling.
And we just kept calling him, and no, but here we are, still friends. So.
Yeah, you two are good people too, so it makes it easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, this next part I want to do, Sarah and Guillermo, you shared with us that you, I believe over the past couple months or so, you can clarify for us that you...
Yeah, we take dancing lessons. So
talk about it. What even got you interested in dancing? Because I just want to share that ever since I've known Guillermo, back in the day when we'd go out, I don't even know if Sarah and Chelsey know this. Yeah, when we'd go out. He was not a fan of whenever we would go to like a club, especially a specific one in Lincoln called Main Street.
I was just never like comfortable dancing. Unless maybe when I was like really drunk or something like that. But otherwise,
So teach us or help us learn where did this come from all of a sudden? Did it just hit you one day that like, hey, I want to do dance?
no, I mean, I've always been like interested because I mean, watching like people dance different like YouTube videos and stuff, I'm always like, dang, I wish I could do that. And like, I think eventually with enough practice, like anyone really could.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sarah was, like I had mentioned to Sarah that I want to take dance lessons or classes or something, like hip hop or whatever. And then Sarah came to me and just kind of on a whim was like, hey, we should do these dance classes like that she found online. And then I don't think she thought I was going to say yes. And I did. I was kind of like, F it.
Sarah?
Well, not initially, but I was like, he's gonna like wait it out, and then it's like, yeah, I'll let you know, and then the class is gonna be over. It's just kind of, that's just what's gonna happen. I assumed that was gonna be it.
Mm-hmm.
I know like with Guillermo, if you plan it, he's more likely, if you have like all the information, it's like more likely to be yes. But this is like very outside of his comfort zone and mine as well. So I was like, it was more funny to see if he was gonna say like, yeah, sure, no, I'm good.
Yeah. No, so then I was like, yeah, F it, let's do it. And so then we ended up going, and then the day that worked for both of us, so they have different like group classes each day of the week. So the one that we went to was like wedding reception dancing. So it's like your East Coast, your West Coast. We learned some like line dancing, waltz, foxtrot. You learn like something new every time. Sometimes it's like the same thing, like back-to-back weeks that you end up. It's just kind of like random, whatever the teacher chooses, basically. And after like the first class that we had, it was like way more fun. Not that I didn't think it wasn't going to be fun, because I was going to be with like Sarah, so it was going to be fun regardless.
Oh.
But it was like actually learning steps and dances was just like pretty cool, and to be like, okay, yeah, I got this. I can do like this, like whatever, twirl and like having like learning to lead and everything like that. It was like pretty cool. So hopefully I can take that to the dance floor next time I go.
In your actual wedding, yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, even like outside of that, just like at
It's also like learning like
clubs or-
rhythm though. Like you're
Right.
like, it's like counting in and like kind of knowing when like the beat's gonna come. It's
Yeah.
like, I mean, we've like picked
Still
up on that a lot better.
Okay, yeah, you're still learning. Because I was going to ask you too, have you in each other noticed a big difference in your rhythm and actually your dance moves since you could? Because it's how many weeks has it been now?
So
We did
I think
10
we did like 10 weeks, yeah.
Whoa.
But it was like one day a week, and they're 45-minute classes. So you're not going to become like. No, I mean that's the thing. Like I think we practiced one time
The one day
outside
we
of
all-
class. Yeah.
So it's okay. I swear.
Um,
Okay.
but other than that, it's just the 45 minutes. Which, if you're doing that, I mean it'll take a really long time to learn whatever dances that you're trying to learn. But during like the classes, once we kind of get down like the steps, then it does become like way easier, and it flows, and it's like, oh, okay, you're actually like doing these moves and everything like
Yeah.
that. So
You're a lot more confident, and
Right.
it's kind of like now we like know the questions to ask. Like from the first class, I would literally just look at it like, what am I doing? Like, why
Yeah.
doesn't this look right? But then we're like, oh, like do we grab this hand like when we spin? Like you just start to like figure it out. And it was just, I don't know, like Guillermo's gotten a lot more confident. I was like it was my idea to take the dance class. I was incredibly nervous the day of, like on the way there.
I guess we're actually here.
Didn't think it was actually gonna happen.
Yeah.
But like I was very nervous that day, but then Guillermo was super calm, just like it was just very interesting because it was my idea, and then how he was kind of anxious about it, like weeks before. And the day I was like, well, now I don't have any choice. Like this is my idea. I have to do it.
Yeah, thank you to. I don't know. There's something like Guillermo that really, in the moment, is just very. I don't know. He's good at doing that. And then you bring the real. This is not to say you're not, but like you were mentioning, Sarah is a very fun, energetic personality. Like I feel like you two connected, and hopefully, after this, we can have a little bit of video of you two showing us some moves. I'll
well, we
talk-
haven't been in class for like the last few weeks because.
So are you saying you lost it all?
No, but it definitely helps when you're like in the
repetition.
and when you're in like the studio and everything, and you're like, okay, yeah, this is the dance that we're doing and everything like that.
Studio.
But now, so like we're gonna do it again, and they're changing the way that they do classes, where it's gonna be like a 6-week, course basically. So how I understand it, how she was like telling us was like every day is kind of gonna be building upon like the next day and the next day and the next day.
Which is
so
nice,
it's not, which will be nice, and it's gonna be like the same people that sign up for like that time for the class.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna be like whatever the teacher wants to pick that day, or because sometimes you're doing like the same thing 2 times in a row, which is like 2 weeks in a row, which sometimes is nice because then you kind of know what you're doing.
Yeah,
but it's also nice to learn, right? But it's also nice to learn like other dances too, when you're just kind of just going to get as much information for different dances and styles of dance and everything like that.
So when's that start?
Like next year.
Yeah,
so
next
year.
year.
A couple weeks into January.
Okay.
The teacher eventually, I heard her tell, she has like this helper, this little guy that comes in, he's amazing. I don't know what his name is, but like I heard her they were talking about us, and they had said like we're like dance all-stars, because we went every single week.
Yeah.
We were like the only ones who were like repeatedly going.
That's
and then
awesome.
they eventually like...
Yeah, because they moved us, so you buy like say 10 classes at a time.
So that's what I wanted to ask you guys. Where'd you guys go? So in case others like me are interested, how did you guys?
Omaha Ballroom. It's right
Okay. I don't know if it was like Groupon or something.
They do have Groupon sometimes.
That's what you definitely paid way more.
Yeah, but it was fine. It's still worth it. So how it was before, you could just drop in, and then they just punch your card that they created for you. So it's like, okay, you come to one class 1 week, they punch it, now you have 9 classes left.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can come like 3 weeks later, and they punch it, okay, you have 8 classes left. But they moved us from the like big box with like a bunch of people that probably don't come on a regular basis to like the smaller box for people that come like all the time. She's like, oh, I'm gonna move you to the big.
Dang.
To
And
like,
then she's like, Godfrey?
yeah. So then
That's awesome.
So then we had to go all the time.
So lastly, what tips would y'all give people that are interested in maybe trying something that, like you said, Sarah's out of their comfort zone and really wanting to? Because I imagine, Guillermo, like you said, you wanted to also improve in dancing, maybe get rhythm out of this.
Just like get more comfortable dancing.
Yeah.
That's really.
And Sarah, why did you
biggest
join?
thing.
Because I honestly thought it'd be really fun to do it with Guillermo.
Yeah.
I didn't, like, I'm very comfortable dancing,
Mm-hmm.
but, like, this is very something I've never done, but it was, like, I don't know, I really looked forward to, like, having something to do with Guillermo, like, scheduled, or
Yeah.
it's, like, I knew every Wednesday we were going to be hanging out. That was the main reason why I did it, because I just thought it was something different and, like, something to break up the week rather than just, like, the normal
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just work.
get up, go to work,
Yeah.
kind of thing like that. It was just very different. But
What tips would you guys give other people, or maybe to answer that question even easier, what is something that you didn't know then that you know now, or wish you knew then that you know
For dancing,
now? Yeah.
really, it's just like if you just do whatever.
Style above, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, if you just like do whatever, like there's that one guy who was there all the time, who's like kind of like the helper guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like if you just do it, like no one's really gonna be paying attention, number one, or even notice like, oh, you know, maybe you released too early or something like that. It's like it's not
No
that
one
it's a
cares.
competition.
Cool, well, because you're focused on yourself.
Yeah,
too,
we're not
right?
in like a dance competition. So unless you're like competing in, Dancing with the Stars, they're not going to critique you on every little thing. So if you're just like out there and then, just kind of faking it or whatever, however you want to say it. It's
Wait,
just like,
Dancing with the Stars isn't the next theme for you too?
I mean, we're close.
Okay, all right.
I mean, I got the star part. Gotta get the dancing more.
So Guillermo's saying just do it. Everybody's focused on themselves. They're not going to be worried on you as much as you may think. Just go
Yeah.
out there and do it. Okay.
And I feel like just find something that you're like very comfortable with, because it could be very embarrassing, like being in that class. But if you're with someone who also doesn't care and it's just fun, like it genuinely, it's just a really good time. Half the time it's just us laughing. Like,
Right. Yeah.
So you're gonna double workout.
Like I'm like cackling in the corner, but I don't know. It's just like find something you're comfortable with, where it's like you guys can both not be good at something and like balance each other out really well. And that's why I had so much fun. Like I don't know. Yeah, it was fun.
Is there anything that you two learned about yourselves through these first 10 classes?
I mean, just as far as like dancing goes,
Or just yourself in general, personality wise, anything. Could be confident, anything.
no, I mean really is more like dancing's just not as. It's not that it's like easy necessarily, but it's something that, you know, even just like with these classes that I'm like more confident in. So that's really like, I don't know, the biggest thing that I like from it.
So confident that even Guillermo, who's never asked me this, is.
I'm not saying that I'm like good at all, but at least I can like, I have like some steps and stuff like that.
And that you're.
Or some like basic like, you know, rhythm or whatever. So.
I mean, the fact that you are willing to show me in public says a lot, too. That you've invited me to.
Yeah. I mean,
like,
don't think I'm gonna be like breaking down or anything like that. Like,
don't
it's
be
not
spinning
like
on the floor or
that.
anything.
Wait,
No,
when
it's
is
not
this
like that at all.
happening? When
Maybe
is-
tomorrow night.
Oh,
maybe.
okay.
Maybe tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Maybe that'll be the footage
But more just like, you know, because back in Lincoln and stuff like that, when we would go out, I just never liked dancing because I just never felt one. I mean, I still don't think I'm like good, but I was never like confident in dancing or like feeling like I had rhythm or anything like that. So I was like, I'm not gonna make a fool out of myself on the dance floor. When really, I mean, you could think that you're like looking like a fool on the dance floor, but that's also just dancing, you know? So.
How about you, Sarah? Anything you learned about yourself through this?
Question. I mean, not really. I think it was just like, yeah, I don't know. I think I was pretty sure of myself, like with dancing in general going in. Like I like going to clubs. I'm fine with like dancing in the middle of people. It doesn't really bother me. I think a lot of it was just like the doing something new. Like that in general is like what I had to like overcome and like do that like on the way there, like why I was so nervous. I wasn't nervous about dancing. I was just nervous because I'd never done it before. So it was just kind of like,
Yeah, you didn't know how like the class was gonna be
Right.
like
and
what to
who's gonna
expect
be in
exactly.
there,
Right.
how like what the setup was. I didn't know what the building looked like. So all that just stresses me out. But it was like getting out of my comfort zone
Yeah.
to do that. Where initially I thought I would be totally fine, and then day of, it wasn't.
Well, I'm really excited. I think tomorrow, when we're out and about, I mean, y'all put me on the spot earlier in this podcast, so I'm gonna put you on the spot. There's gonna be a song coming on. I'm just gonna get you two and be like, show us.
Taylor
After
Swift is
some-
really easy to do.
Ooh, which
Okay,
one?
so
Do you have
that's-
a favorite? We'll make sure it comes on.
Is it the one you belong
What's your
to
favorite
me?
Taylor Swift
No.
song to dance to?
I don't know what the song is, but like, it was just
Now
the
we
easiest
got
one to be like,
bad blood. Okay, we'll figure it out. I try. Florida Georgia Line comes on tomorrow. You for sure will. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean I'll be dancing.
All right, so thank you two for sharing your review on the dance classes. Now for this next segment, what I would like to do is talk about. So about a couple months ago, we all have a group chat called Wigs. We sound like a superhero group, I think.
We are.
And thank you. And I sent these fine people a website on just interesting horoscope readings and how well it fit each of us. I got it from a friend named Eliza. Me and her are a birthday apart, and we just find it interesting being opposite sexes, how similar the readings were. So she sent it to me, I sent it to y'all, and I would like to now go and Chelsey hasn't talked much
Yeah,
in
no.
a while, so let's
and
start.
can I also say too, the first night we met, you were all about
Yeah.
astrology. So you
Oh gosh,
you
I
were
want people to
you were
know
trying
that.
to pick when our birthdays were, and you actually
Which
picked.
I think he did, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
He picked the month and almost the date of both of our birthdays, and I made to the point where I was like, Guillermo, did you tell him this
No.
beforehand? Is this some trick you guys worked out? But yeah, so
So
this has been
basically-
like a,
You're a witch.
yeah, it's an ongoing thing.
With the lights off and everything. All right, so to describe where we are right now. We're in Chelsey's
Yes.
apartment. It's very nice. Fireplace is on. boyfriend's on the floor, kind of like a dog. I like it. Playing bubble shooter or something.
Candy
and,
Crush.
Yeah, it's a nice, intimate setting. It's good to be back home. So it sounds like we wouldn't have been friends if I didn't guess your birthday.
No, definitely
awesome.
not.
Moral of the story, y'all know your people. So Chelsey, what I'd like you to do is, I'd like you to. What's your sign first of all again?
I am an Aries.
Yeah, you're a Ram. So
Yes, as is Guillermo.
that's right. So why don't you? I'm trying to think how we can do this. I'm sure.
Each read one, then we can read mine.
So yeah, what I'd like you to do, there were parts on this I thought we read last time, but I'm not finding it. But read what your sign's about,
Yeah.
and then say. Oh, Wayne's also, isn't he?
Yeah.
So there's three. Man, the Rams are heavy in this.
Lane
room.
and Guillermo actually share a birthday, so yeah.
So me and Sarah will also, when you guys are done, seeing how much this relates to each of you too.
Yeah. So we are the Ram. We're ruled by the headstrong and determined Ram. Aries energy can be stubborn and willful. It causes us to dig in our heels, stand our ground, and refuse to be pushed around. Under the influence of an Aries planetary transit, we may butt our own metaphorical ram's horns against the same obstacle until we break it down, often with the sheer force of will. Confident Aries energy helps believe in ourselves and champion others. The essence of Aries energy shows up as encouraging, unstoppable, bold, devoted, heroic, and caring. In its shadow form, Aries energy can make us prideful, self-centered, impulsive, bossy, not me at all, stubborn, reckless, and competitive, not me at all again. This sign likes a challenge, but be careful not to become selfish or domineering under Aries influence. That is the main...
I think a lot of, especially the caring aspect and how you guys help influence others, I think that's very true. There's something else, keep holding it please.
Mm-hmm.
There was something else when I sent this to y'all.
I think it's like down below.
You know what I'm talking about?
I think it's like literally characteristics. It goes after, it's like strengths and
Keep going
weaknesses.
down a little bit.
Oh, so another one I wanted to do, Aries as the Aries man, I don't know if that was the woman. So you read, I think it just, but let's read what Guillermo would be. Maybe it's the love horoscope already. So let's read the love horoscope. What signs you're really good pair with. Oh, by the way, Aries is March 21st to April 19th.
Mm-hmm.
So can you read this part and then we'll get Guillermo to...
Which part do you want me to read?
Or should we get Guillermo to read all of it? Or do you want to read it?
Guillermo? You want to go?
Yeah, let's hear the Aries man.
Which part am I reading here?
Oh, nice P in the back. All this. All the way down.
Okay.
So it's an independent sign.
In love, Aries is a one-on-one person. You can never get too much attention or solo time with your sweetie. You'll put your partner first in all matters, and you expect the same in return. If your mate's universe doesn't include a starring role for you, there's simply no point in being together. That doesn't mean you are a pushover, though. Aries is one of the most independent zodiac signs. You are not into being suffocated or controlled. You just love attention, giving and receiving, and you want to share your most intimate side with someone you can trust. It's been said that the biggest gift we can offer is to listen to another person. Aries are masters of this. You give your full heart and attention in a relationship, often stage mothering, or playing the heroic savior for the object of your affections. This can become a bit suffocating for both you and your partner at times, so monitor this tendency carefully. Otherwise, your independent spirit will rebel, wreaking havoc on your relationship. That Aries temper can blindside you at times, and out of frustration, you can say things that are quite cruel. The remedy: carve out me time every day. Being alone to breathe, relax, and tune into your thoughts helps you stay centered and balanced in love. Aries rules the head and face, and tension for you tends to pool here. Regular scalp and neck massages, blowouts, and pampering will keep you from burning out and lashing out. Because you're the zodiac's first and youngest sign, you may secretly feel more dependent on your partner than you care to admit. When you're in a relationship, be sure to keep following your own pursuits so you remember how powerful you are. As a sign of the self, you must always maintain a strong sense of who you are as an individual if you want to succeed in love. Aries is a competitive and alpha sign. You guard your mate like a prize, and you won't back down from a fight if someone tries to cross a line. You may be private about your relationships, intimate details, but you want the whole world to know exactly who you're with. Although your appetite is lusty and you radiate sensuality, at the end of the day, you want that special someone who truly gets you. Although you may naively hang on to a bad match, you don't tolerate disrespect once the blinders come off. You are quick to say next the minute you recognize that you're not the apple of your partner's eye. Felt like I was back in, 6th grade, being called on to read. Yeah. And it just keeps going. You're like, oh man, when's my page? When's my page up?
I mean, I gotta say, a lot of that, I'm just going on behalf of me and Guillermo's relationship over these past, where we at 10 years now? No, 11. Yeah, I'd say a lot of that is fitting with you. You're very, I don't know, just go slowly. No, keep going down. That's it. There's something. Yeah, I mean, I would say you're definitely competitive. That's for sure. I mean, I got my cussing in sports from you, basically, when we would watch stuff, and you and I would shit talk all the time. And I mean, it's fun. And you're very, I don't know, I would say you're intimate. And I feel like you have my back with anything that I'm going through, for sure. It feels, I don't know, it just feels safe with you.
I feel like reading through the Aries, which is very true, is that it's very complex. So there's a lot of we want attention, but we don't, but we do, but we want it in this way, but we don't. And that's very much who I am. And
don't want to have control over things, but also
I do
need to have your hand in it, but also want someone else to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you two both felt like, or you three, can get a head silent nod from Silent Lane. It sounds like you two felt, this related to you a lot in many ways.
Yeah.
Is there anything that kind of caught you off guard that you're like, nah? It's not me?
No, but I think the regular scalp and neck massages
I was like,
is me to a T. Or back scratches. But I think that's probably everybody in the world, or most people in the world.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the Aquarius to the left.
Chelsey, you want to read mine?
Yeah, I can read yours.
Where am I going?
It's right here.
Oh, I see. My bad.
Your reading privileges are done. Yeah.
The Aries are doing so well.
So the Aquarius is January 22nd to February 19th?
When's your birthday again, Sarah?
The 25th.
Of January.
I'm sure you know.
And this is, do you want me to read this part right here, or do you want me to go down a little bit?
Isn't it what they're...
Yeah, read. Go down, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the...
Symbolized by the philanthropic and objective water bearer, Aquarius energy is innovative and avant-garde. From experimental electronic music to community-oriented living, there's nothing that the sign won't explore. As a sign that rules groups and terms, bringing people together around a social cause or a political agenda is an Aquarian specialty. Aquarius energy is cutting edge, out there, in quotes, and even a little strange at times. This futuristic sign helps us envision utopian worlds. This is a sign of science fiction and inventions. No topic is too cutting edge under an Aquarian transit. Extraterrestrials, stem cells, cloning, robots taking over the earth. Yep, Aquarius will go there. While Aquarian influence can make us rebellious and detached from reality, come on back to earth, it helps us see possibilities we wouldn't otherwise. The essence of Aquarius energy is community-oriented, original, open-minded, fair, logical, humanitarian, connecting, and inviting. The negative expression of Aquarius energy can be guarded, detached, destructive, out of touch, irrational, and desperate. Aquarius vibes make us reluctant to express emotions. It prefers rational reasoning and cool-headed logic to the messy tapestry of the human feelings. No surprise that author Ayn Rand, founder of the objectivist movement, was born under this sign. Objectivism has been a major influence on the libertarian movement, which has a real Aquarian flavor.
Is that it?
I think it keeps going, but
I mean, I think we got it.
yeah, there's like one more sentence, but it's not important. The important part is I think the positive and negatives of an Aquarius.
So another thing I want to do at the end of this is do the famous celebrities. I know Oprah is one. Sarah, I can't really talk because I don't know you that well to know some of the things it said, but I know Sarah and Guillermo could probably talk and see if they see a lot of those in you.
Chelsey and Guillermo.
Yeah. Sorry, did I say Sarah and Guillermo?
Yeah.
My
Talk
bad.
about me.
Yeah, I can talk about.
Oh, actually, yeah. Here are the famous ones real quick, and then we'll go to yours.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oprah Winfrey, Jennifer Aniston, Bob Marley, Harry Styles, Justin Timberlake, Emma Roberts, Alicia Keys, Bobby Brown, Nick Carter, Sarah Palin, Misha Barton, Michael Jordan, Ellen DeGeneres, Taylor Lautner, Ed Sheeran, Shakira, The Weeknd, John Travolta, Chloe Grace Moretz, Abraham Lincoln, Dr. Dre. See anybody else you know? William McKinney, Franklin D. Roosevelt, Ronald McDonald, Ronald Reagan, Charles Dickens, Toni Morrison, Langston Hughes. So let's go back to Aries real quick before I forget. And then we're gonna read your love. Lady Gaga, Mariah Carey, Celine Dion, Aretha Franklin, damn, Shaka Khan, Marvin Gaye, Victoria Beckham, Sarah Jessica Parker, Al Gore, Heath Ledger, Rosie O'Donnell, Gloria Steinem, Emma Watson, Kourtney Kardashian, Big Sean, Kristen Stewart, Pharrell Williams, Jamie Lynn Spears,
Peyton Manning, that's what's up. Go Broncos.
Maya Angelou, Jessie J, Robert Downey Jr., like you said, Peyton Manning, Thomas Jefferson. All right. I wonder who has the most famous in there. So let's go to your love. Do you want to read it, Sarah, or do you want Chelsey to keep going? Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Because
Okay.
you're such a good reader.
I don't know about that. The love horoscope for an Aquarius.
Being detached.
When it comes to love, Aquarius is a funny creature. You're an idealist who believes in true love, and you're always searching for a best friend and soulmate in one. On the other hand, your sign rules casual connections, and you guard your independence fiercely. While you have friends by the thousands, and you're totally laid back around them, you can be neurotic and unpredictable with your romantic partners. Stop giggling. Just figuring out what you want and sticking to it is enough of a challenge for ever-shifting Aquarius. Your sign is ruled by Uranus, the planet of... Why is that? The planet of surprises and sudden moves. We've seen countless Aquarians marry young and out of the blue, only to divorce just suddenly. Hold on. Oh, geez. I went down too far.
That's what.
The real issue, you may look like the boy or girl next door, but most Aquarians are eccentric beings. What's in the package may be quite different than the often clean-cut wrapper suggests. Although you may come across as light and superficial, you're a true visionary with a lot of complex layers, and you may secretly believe that nobody can truly understand you. This leads you to settle for less qualified candidates just to avoid being alone. Rather than get hung up on a bad match, you can obsess over a breakup for years. Aquarians should mingle in social circles that reflect your deepest interests. Aquarius is a sign of groups, friendship, and humanitarian pursuits. Join a network of people who share your beliefs, like environmental protection or animal rights, and you'll likely meet a mate who shares your ideals. Wouldn't you love to date a best friend with whom you can kick back, laugh, and save the world? Since you need lots of freedom, you may be drawn to a long-distance relationship. They do not work out, let me tell you that. Unconventional living arrangements are not uncommon in Aquarius romances. You may wish to keep your own residence even after you've declared your matrimonial vows. Connecting with your partner on the mental plane is far more important than seeing them in the flesh every day. You'd rather be sending "I miss you" emails from a spiritual pilgrimage than having the same "How is your day, dear?" conversations after a predictable day. There's more.
Beautiful. Oh, there's more?
There's one more paragraph. Should I just keep going? As the sign of the rebel, you're not above a good controversy, so it all comes out in the wash. You love to shock people. Just make sure you don't base your romantic choices on the need to prove a point. If your family has pressured you to tie the knot, you could spend years giving them the proverbial finger and refusing to engage in a long-term relationship. While you should always maintain your independence, don't be afraid to put down roots and discover how commitment can actually set you free. You bring so much fun, creativity, and wackiness to a relationship. There's no reason you shouldn't enjoy inventing a romance with your own funky spin.
Okay, Sarah.
All right.
What do you think?
Well, I mean, I think besides I think it was very accurate. I mean, overall, yeah, I'd say there was a lot of information in there about my hobbies that I didn't totally agree with, but I don't know. It makes sense. I'm very independent. I know that. Sometimes I'm independent to a fault, but
Miss Independent.
I do it.
And you are also kind of, like, in a good way, off in your own world quite a bit, where it's just like, I understand you at this point, and I'm sure Guillermo does, because we've been around you for a very long time. But for, like, newcomers that they don't think we're funny, and we'll just keep laughing because I get you. So I think that's a...
And I would say I'm pretty, like, eccentric and outgoing for the most part. I am, like, aloof a lot. That is, like, one of the most common things I hear about Aquariuses. So I can own to that.
Well, one thing we missed, and I'll do it with you guys before we read mine, I'm the last one, is that you... So here are things about you. Body part ankle. I don't know what the hell that means. A good day. Yeah, good day. Communicative, original, open-minded, which is very true. Fair, logic, and inviting. A bad day. Guarded, detached, self-destructive.
Oh my gosh.
Out of touch, irrational, and desperate. Your favorite things. Let's see if any of these are true.
Okay.
Computer programming, teaching, team sports, anything with a cause or mission, independent films.
Were any of those?
Huh?
Were any of those your interests?
Literally none of
I was
them.
gonna say.
What you hate, injustice, drama queens, feeling isolated, owing money or favors, having to choose just one thing. Your secret wish to
More
more
That was
accurate?
more accurate,
Yeah.
yeah.
Your secret wish to experience total freedom. How to spot them, a cute smile. Quirky movements, darting eyes, and long legs. Where you'll find them, backpacking through Swiss Alps, picketing a company with unfair hiring practices, coaching a little league team, revolutionizing
We're a little league team.
the industry you work in. And keywords: friendliness, eccentricity, teamwork, humanitarianism, technology, futuristic, and groups.
Some of those are oddly specific.
Well known for my picketing.
I agree. Body part for Aries, the head and face. A good day, energetic, encouraging, unstoppable, bold, devoted, heroic, and caring. Sound about right?
Yeah, that's very
Those
true.
were much better than a bad day, proud, self-centered, impulsive, bossy, stubborn, reckless, and jealous.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's very much me.
Favorite things: competitive games, new clothes, road trips, and fast red cars. Debating, expressing themselves through stunning verbal and physical feats. What they hate: sharing their toys, being ignored, cramped spaces, losing, and the word no.
Losing, I think it's like...
I
The-
also hate cramped spaces. That's a little off topic.
This
but
is what I
yes.
want to know if this is true. Secret wish to be number one.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Of course.
How
But
to,
that's got to be a lot of people.
Yeah.
how to spot them: high foreheads, focused or manic energy, an aggressive stance. Keywords: willpower, initiative, determination, passion, beginnings, self-belief, and innocence. The Ram. All right, Chelsey, I think you're so good at reading these.
Oh my gosh.
You want to, since you did everybody, you can do me
Why are
too.
you okay?
You're doing so good.
Thank you. for Virgo. August 23rd to September 22nd.
Okay. Virgo, ruled by the nurturing, orderly, and rule-abiding Virgin, Virgo energy focuses on control, purification, and organization. Imagine a bookshelf that needs sorting, and you'll find Virgo categorizing by color, book title, and author, usually just for fun. Virgo helps us to maintain a sense of efficiency and conduct in our physical realities, and can be very supportive as it's not focused on shining in the limelight. Perfectionism can be an issue. Under a Virgo planetary transit, we may find ourselves caught in waves of analysis paralysis, wanting to make a million decisions down to the last detail, but unable to make a move. The essence of Virgo energy is dedicated, resourceful, helpful, hardworking, health-conscious, analytical, clever, witty, and practical. In its negative state, Virgo energy can be preachy, self-destructive, anxious, overwhelmed, self-pitying, uptight, and critical. Virgo pickiness and sky-high standards have their uses, but can wreak havoc on relationships with ourselves and others. Since Virgo rules the 6th house of health and fitness, wellness, and all things green, from kale smoothies to the cleaning up of the planet, fall under its domain.
All right.
That's
and
you.
Then can you do the last one, the love?
I can.
Because you're so helpful. Yeah, you can
Unless
lean on
Guillermo
that.
wants to read it. Picky Virgo, love can be a challenge when high standards get involved. As a zodiac's perfectionist, it's hard for anyone to measure up to your criteria. You'd rather be alone than settle. A great attitude as long as you keep your expectations realistic. When applied correctly, this weeding out process chases away the losers and can even tame eternal bachelors. Many times, though, you barely give anyone a chance. One human slip-up can be a fatal flaw for your suitors. Since first dates are often filled with nervous moments, you may need to give people a tad more leeway. So relax a little bit, Nadia.
I'm just laughing because a lot of that so far isn't true.
It's not true.
Especially with the first dates thing. But there is one comment that she made that has me thinking over the past year. Go on.
Analytical Virgos. You're just talking about analyzing something. Analytical Virgos have a way of sizing people up, your eyes squinting as you assess the creature in front of you. You don't mean any harm, you just can't help noticing every detail. However, it can be quite intimidating for the person under the Virgo microscope. Underneath it all is the fact that you're just incredibly hard on yourself. Thank your inner circle for sharing than to tell you to shut up. It will give you a lot more tolerance for other people's imperfections. Wise and worldly you are, there's a certain childlike innocence about you as well. No matter how tough or wild you act, when it comes to romance, Virgos have an old-fashioned streak. You want the full fantasy, complete with a dashing suitor who sweeps you off your feet, or vice versa. Even if you run a physics lab or boast several PhDs, your romantic notions remain simplistically sweet. Amid the fantasies, however, your soulmate still has to pass a long, practical checklist. For starters, this person has to be clean. Virgos are hygiene freaks. Loyal, respectful, and intelligent. No dummies make it past the first date with picky Virgo. Not even the hot ones.
Yeah, that's probably not true.
Oh, that's very true.
Even the hot ones? You would give them a second chance?
I'm fine with nobody hearing my answer. I'm just kidding. Keep going.
Bookish Virgos can be introverts, and many of you are reluctant to spill your secrets, which makes it hard for people to get close to you. Or you may dump out all of your baggage right away, assuming that the other person can already see all your so-called flaws. Both of these extreme attitudes can prevent you from forming lasting relationships. Although everyone appreciates a great listener, make sure you're not lending your ears in order to avoid opening up. Even if you're tempted to spill your dirty laundry too quickly, take a deep breath and talk about the weather instead. Like a virgin, you need to be wooed and courted. Flings bore you, and you rarely indulge in them, or they end up turning into long-term relationships despite your intentions. Virgos have an eye on the real thing. Your family must approve of your mate, and this person will eventually be paraded in front of them before you decide if he or she's a keeper. You should be able to picture this person as the co-parent of your children. You may be sentimental, but you're far more practical. You choose your head before your heart. There's no exception to this trend. As a sign of the helper, Virgos need to be needed. This can tempt you to fall for a fixer-upper type who leaves you drained and unsupported. Remember, it's not your job to be someone's therapist or helpmate. There are people who charge $150 an hour to do that, and the chances are you've got your own neurosis to deal with. To keep yourself in check, make sure you're not falling in love with a person's potential. Just because you're capable of running the show doesn't mean that you should. Although it can be easier to give and receive, relationships are a two-way street. Virgos will do anything to avoid that vulnerable feeling of depending on someone. Yet once you let down your walls and try it, you've just laid the groundwork for real love. Aim for mutuality and respect, a true balance of give and take.
Oh,
There you go.
Thank you so much for that. Yeah. Damn. I don't even remember any of that from when we all talked about this like 2 months ago. I really don't. Yeah. You're a trooper. And the famous ones from this are Beyonce, Michael Jackson. I don't know who Richard Gere is. That sounds very familiar.
From Pretty Woman.
Okay. Leah Michelle. Zendaya, Nick Jonas, Bernie Sanders, Cameron Diaz, Neil Horan from what's that group? Yeah. Thank you. Paul Walker, Kobe Bryant, Jimmy Fallon, Flo Rida, Blake Lively, Adam Sandler, Wiz Khalifa, Pink, Shania Twain, Sean Connery, Harry Connick Jr., L.A. Tomlin, William Tower Taft, Lyndon B. Johnson, Stephen King, Tom Ford.
Stephen King's a solid one.
Yeah. I guess it's only fair since I did it with you guys. I to do it for me too. Body parts: stomach, waist, digestive system. Good day: dedicated, resourceful, helpful, hardworking, witty, practical. Bad day: preachy, self-destructive, overwhelmed, self-pitying, uptight, critical. Favorite things: laptops, magazines. This sounds all nasty altogether. Laptops, magazines, long showers with
PG.
What is that? How do you pronounce it again?
Aromatherapy.
Thank you. Soaps. Outdoor concerts, childhood friends, and Trivial Pursuit. What you hate. I don't even know what that is.
It's a
Game, I thought. What you hate: lazy or vulgar people, dive bars, spicy food. That's a lie. Leaving home.
You know, like dive bars.
Yeah, you like.
That's what I'm saying. It's a lie. This is what you hate.
Gotcha.
Toothpaste squeezed from the top of the tube. A secret wish to be a hero. That's true. How to spot them: baby faces, roving eyes that are sizing up or analyzing a situation. Where you'll find them: babysitting for the neighbor's kids, running errands on their endlessly long to-do list, building something with their own two hands, cleaning something to spotless condition. And keywords: health, helpfulness, order, organization, innocence, and purity. All right. This is true.
It's you, Nadu.
Yeah,
Nadu.
apparently. The one thing that you said with the love thing that I've been thinking a lot lately, which I never would have thought, is the better being off like alone than settling for someone. I've been thinking about that a lot lately.
Mm-hmm.
But
Have you been settling?
well, there was a part that she read too, something about feeling like the helper for someone that you can't fix. People when you feel drained and unsupported, and I definitely felt that before. 100%. And gotta remember not to always feel like you have to help people. That's been something I've been learning about myself this year. So, let's see. Yeah, we're about nearing. We can probably do the, if you guys want to get with the misconnections, or we can do that another time. But one thing I like to end on for sure is just, any of you guys have, with this being the last podcast of the year, of this journey I've been on now for 12 episodes, I like running it out with people that I really care for. And I'm curious to know what your guys' goals are for 2019, if you have any so far. Or goals you have to end the year, or what you want to work on next year.
Goals for 2019. Do more things like like dance classes, things that are kind of out of your comfort zone.
Mm.
That's mine. That's my one.
I like
My goal, just have it. My goal for 2019 would be to like do more things. Also, to like I don't know, like live
That's
a
a
little
good
bit
goal
more,
to have,
like
though.
spend money on things that I will benefit from. So like experiences, things like that. And then I don't know. I guess like being more open, like not being such an Aquarius where I'm like detached from everything. So like attempting to like speak more freely.
Was that true for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone knows
Yeah. Goals for 2019. I honestly haven't really thought about it. I would just say to continue doing well in my job, because I would like some sort of promotion at some point. Don't want to be a branch manager forever. And to keep my relationship strong that I have with the friends that I have. Focus on that. And of course, to keep things going with Lane. Is that what you were pointing out? Yeah. We'll probably be engaged sometime soon.
Ooh, you heard it here first. Whoa, we'll remember this date. December 27th at 10:07 p.m.
Next year at this time, if we're not engaged. I lied. I'm sorry, everybody.
That'd be part 2 of this podcast.
But I'm really stubborn, so I don't know.
I think
What
he'll
about
get
you
that.
to do?
I don't really.
I think he'll get that promotion though.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
For me, I thought about this today or yesterday, I can't remember. Mine would be to not care for, I don't mean to sound dickish when I say this, but for me it would be not to care so much about other people. I tend to do that too often to a point where I forget how I'm supposed to feel. I'm not supposed to, but how important how I'm feeling going into something is. I tend to put my feelings a lot on the wayside just to make others happy. So with that includes next year for me putting things on hold instead of doing it weekly. One of them being like this podcast and really taking care of other stuff that are really important. I preach self-care a lot with clients, but sometimes I have to question if I'm doing that myself. Another thing will be to finally get my license and for mental health. Because once I do that, they can open up the opportunity to, one, do more things at work, but also if I wanted to ever, branch out, go to another state, whether it be coming back home or whatever, at least I have the option. And it'll be nice to actually supervise others instead of being the supervisee. So, yeah, those are my 2 goals. But before we wrap up, I just wanted to thank the 3 of you. I know for 2 of you, this was your first time on a podcast that reaches 1 million listeners each week. And, we're at number 2 right now, but we're going to make number 1 with this podcast, I think. Final episode of the season. I just appreciate it being with people that I truly care about and love. And being back home kind of brings it all together. It's really nice. Guillermo being on for 2 episodes. And with you 2, I think you guys felt so natural. From my ears, Sarah and Chelsey. And if we were to do this again, which I hope so, it'll only get better. Think about it in that way. So thank you guys for your time. Thank you, Chelsey, for hosting us.
Of course.
For an amazing dinner that we all went to right before this. I shouldn't say amazing. Actually, it was terrible. But I don't know why I'm lying to people.
The service was terrible. The food
See,
was
that's
good.
what I'm being too nice again.
Yeah.
But yeah, any closing thoughts before we wrap up? The finale. It's 10-10 now. We're on an even number. That's nice.
No, I'm glad you're back as well for Christmas and
And New Year's.
New Year's.
Yeah.
And good luck in 2019 with us.
All y'all.
Yeah, here's to 2019.
Yeah.
That was a copy.
But yeah, this setting is really, really beautiful with the fire, the candles. And it's moments like this that I really appreciate. And just memories that I enjoy making with you 3 ever since we all met. And this summer, thanks to Guillermo. And you guys are great definitions of what friendship looks like. So thank you again, and we're closing out. Again, I'm sorry we couldn't get Oprah on this episode or any of the seasons, but we'll try next season. So until next time, or until next year, happy New Year's, happy holidays, peace, love, and may your skills be with you. God bless, and Kamesia.